not exactly a distinguished name. He did very early on in his career fight a guy that we're familiar with, the brother of the WBO heavyweight champion of the world, the cousin rather, of Sultan Ibragimov, Timur Ibragimov, who also made a name for himself in the heavyweight division before he ran into some stinging punches from Calvin Brock in one of those crossroads fights.
Well, he's using a fast jab and a strong jab. He's mixed it up nicely. Now, he's just not putting the weapons behind that punch. That was a slapping hook. You need to set the shoulder and throw a strong hook. Good body shot.
Picking up the pace right now in this flurry, perhaps as if he was all ears for your advice, Glenn Johnson. You could feel that one left hook, a short left hook on the inside in the cheap seats. You'd like to see him capitalize and just finish this man, because he's clearly in there with a guy that he should be able to take out. Another good jab. That one rocked Jermell Barnes, stopped him right in his tracks.
He got a sweet jab.
It's interesting, too, because you mentioned the style with the turned shoulder not squared, as you usually see with a fighter that has a good jab, doesn't keep the hand up high, keeps it around his waist. A little bit of Floyd Mayweather in there when Floyd's trying to get cute.
Yeah, but, you know, Johnson not doing the same thing. When Floyd do that, Floyd come back with uppercuts and left hook. And I would like to see Johnson use that jab and put the right hand behind it and come back with left hook or body shots.
Inside 10 seconds to go, round number 3 of a scheduled 8-rounder. And we travel with Jermell Barnes into his corner. It's kind of a long journey after the first couple of rounds of this fight. Very little to distinguish him in terms of having a chance to have won any of the first 3 rounds. And he appears to be tired. You see some blood flowing from inside the mouth and working on some of the swelling around the eyes.
Yeah, but here we're going to see a replay with Johnson doing some good work with the jab. You see the jab, strong jab right here. Good jab. Look at the snap on the neck after that jab. That's what you want to see. But you want to see a right hand right behind that and close the show.
Here's round 4 of our heavyweight matchup. Kevin Johnson, unblemished record, 16-0, and he's well on his way to making it 17-0. Jermell Barnes, sort of a journeyman, really been in some tough times in his last 10 fights. Hasn't had a win, had a couple of draws. Doesn't appear like he's just in there to take a beating and catch a payday. But he's not offering much resistance, and now he's getting tagged with that left hand almost at will. It's target practice right now for Kevin Johnson.
Well, Kevin Johnson is very comfortable. He recognized that he's not in any danger, and he's using his job great. I mean, you know, it's no question he have a great job, but we question the rest of the weapons, which will be the right hands, the left hook, the body shot, the ability to sit down on those punches and close the show. As a heavyweight, you need to have that.
Doubles up on the jab that time and then throws the right hand. We've seen evidence of an excellent 1-2. Almost a bullseye on the chin for that jab of Jermell Barnes. Kevin Johnson taking advantage. And again, a commanding lead in this fight and dictating the pace here. Uppercut, right hand lead. Good shot there, just missed. Partially blocked by Jermell Barnes, or it might have been lights out. Johnson taking his time. Midway through this 4th round, it's been all Kevin Johnson so far, as a lot of people would have anticipated. Len, you're looking for a little bit more polish, maybe a little bit more of a finishing touch, huh?
Yeah, you know, Johnson is throwing the jab, he's stepping back, he's creating room to punch again, but he's not punching again. You know, he's just creating the room and throw the jab and create more room and step back and create more room. We'd like to see him create that room, sit down and let go the other punches. And, you know, it's no doubt this guy is talented, but is he limited talented, or you have all the weapons? That's what we're still waiting to see. We're still waiting to see the rest of the weapons.
He's beating a steady tattoo on the face of Jermell Barnes with that jab. Not an easy thing, though, to try and educate a fighter to have power. You either have it or you don't.
Well, you don't have to have the power, and you don't have to use the power, but you can still throw the punches. You just have to be smart about it. A lot of times you have a guy, weight is coming forward, and you throw the right punches. His body weight help you add weight to your punches.
Easy waltz in round number 4. The crowd thinking this round's a little bit suspect on the part of Kevin Johnson. Jermell Barnes trying to come back. 10 seconds to go in this 4th frame. Crowd getting a little restless as we go into the corner of Kevin Johnson. Johnson, dominant force in this fight, more or less toying with Jermell Barnes. Upsetting to you, Glenn Johnson, that he's not putting in more of an effort to make the proverbial statement. You like to see this in young guys, especially if you're going to boast a resume like he has, 16-0. You'd like to see him be able to finish guys off a little bit more quickly.
Well, here you're going to see Johnson throwing the jab. See, throw the jab right there and he step back. He throw it again and he step back. He should throw a right hand behind that. There he throw the right hand. But then he go back to throwing the jab and there's nothing else behind it. And that's where we want to see the change. We still want the jabs, but now we want him to add the rest of the punches to it.
Into round 5 of our heavyweight matchup, Kevin Johnson, Jermell Barnes. It's been all Kevin Johnson so far, having winning the first 4 rounds. I think even Stevie Wonder would have called it that way. Maybe looking for a little bit more. The crowd got a little anxious about round number 4 as they feel that Kevin Johnson should assert himself a little bit more affirmatively. He has an opponent here that he appears to be superior to, but all of a sudden Jermell Barnes getting brave in the center of the ring.
Well, you know, fate will have it. If you have a guy around too long, eventually you're going to start thinking, this guy is not all that he cracked up to be. Maybe I can do something.
Rocks Barnes that time with a statement maker for latitude adjustment, and Barnes shrugs it off. But as we've seen so many times, a fighter that starts making gestures as if he's not hurt usually is hurt, Glenn.
Well, that's often so, and Barnes not really doing anything to help himself in this fight. He just laying around. There he threw a punch, but it's a low, kind of borderline low blow. And he have to throw some jabs and some right hand. Good right hand over the top right there. But he needs to do a little bit more of that. Big right hand again. So he's getting braver and braver as the rounds go on.
The ref should stop this. Holding and hitting. Sort of embarrassing. The crowd is into it. Minios kind of let that action go. Seen some slapping action here. Clowning by Kevin Johnson. Right after Jermell Barnes had finally reached him and gotten his attention. You got to give Barnes credit for trying to do some trench work in here and make this into more of a fight.
Well, Barnes is stepping up into the pocket and waiting till he have the big right hand over the top. Kevin keep his left hand low, so if he get close enough, he could land that right hand. Like right there, if he throw that right hand right over the shoulder, you're able to land that right hand. But he's trying to throw a left hook. That's not the punch to throw while you're in the clinch, because the guy have his right hand up. You want to throw the punch the way you have his left hand down.
And you can see a critical mistake made by fighters over and over again as you watch these type of fights where you have a journeyman and a young upstart and a guy that has been impressive all the way through. And they let a guy hang around, as you mentioned, Glenn Johnson, and all of a sudden they find themselves in trouble. Although it looks like Kevin Johnson got the wake-up call and he's starting to answer back.
Well, you know what the thing people going to talk about here is not that Kevin Johnson is not talented. It's how much talented is he. Is he have the ability to get rid of the guys out the ring?
Round number 5 coming to a close. Hard to make make a case so far in any of the first 5 rounds for Jermell Barnes. You can get the best attorneys anywhere on the planet, and hard to see him winning any of these first 5 rounds. I have Kevin Johnson comfortably ahead, 50-45, giving all 5 rounds to Johnson. But Barnes giving it an effort, and we see perhaps his best action of the fight here from round 5.
Well, here Burns stepping up, he's coming on, he's clowning a little bit, and they get in position. Boom, the right hand right there. He missed it a little bit. He just needed to step a little bit closer before he threw that punch, and it would have landed more flush.
Getting set here for round number 6. A lot of people didn't anticipate this one going this far. Back to work we go. Round number 6. Kevin Johnson in command of his fight. Neither fighter's been down. Neither fighter has been cut. Kevin Johnson controlled the pace of this fight early on with the